Hello students, I hope you are all safe. I feel much delighted to meet you all through this video. Actually, education institutions in many parts of the world are being inactive and we are advised to stay indoors and maintaining social distances. It is the challenging time that we are living in and books are the primary source of education. It is lagging off in the current scenario and we are relying upon online classes. And it is one of the best way you can enhance your academic learning. Here in this video, I have covered the very first lesson from the English textbook, Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is written by A.J.Cronin. Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is written by A.J.Cronin. See, for your better understanding, I have divided the story as two parts. The first part of the lesson actually, it conveys about the two little boys and how they were and what about the appearance of the two boys and what sort of works they were involving themselves in and how the author has earned the friendship of the two little boys and everything we are going to see in the first part of the lesson. And coming to the second part of the lesson, I am going to focus about the secret behind their suffering. And at the end of this story, in the concluding part, you will come to know the secret behind their suffering as well as the secret behind the title. Understood? Then before we enter into the story, I want to give a clear-cut idea about the title first. What the title says, Two Gentlemen of Verona. See, gentlemen. First of all, I want to give a clarity over the title, gentlemen. When we'll call the person as gentleman? See, myself will give the answer for that. If a person, if a person has the consideration towards others and their feelings, if the person is well-mannered, well-behaved, polite, altogether, on the whole, we call them as gentlemen. In this story, what is the speciality of the title in the sense? Here, the two gentlemen refers the two little boys. In the story, here A.J.Cronin, he refers the two gentlemen, two little boys as two gentlemen. And one more thing, Verona. Verona is nothing but, it is a city which is located in the central part of Italy. It is a tourist part also. Understood? And then, see, before I enter into the story, I want to give a clear-cut idea about the author. See, we should always appreciate the one who is responsible for the work. It is none other than A.J.Cronin. A.J.Cronin, he was born in Scotland. He was a Scottish novelist, a dramatist and physician. A doctor by profession, he was also involved himself by writing stories and he was one of the most renowned storytellers of the 20th century. And one more speciality, when you take most of his work actually, he has covered and he has brought a kind of hope and nobility, he has created a kind of hope as well as a positivity among the readers. Understood? And this particular work, Two Gentlemen of Verona, it is one of the inspirational work of A.J.Cronin and you could see how the story begins. See, it is all about the two little boys, but the way he has brought the story, it is really fantastic. Understood? See, I have explained the title, Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is written by A.J.Cronin. So far, we have seen about the author introduction also. Then, before I go into the story in a detailed way, in an elaborate way, I want to give the story in two lines. This particular story is all about two little boys and they have faced hardships in their life and after that they have come out of it and then they have sacrificed their whole life for the welfare of their sister who was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. Understood? And then, now as I have said in the introduction part, for your understanding, I have divided the story as two. So, shall we go into the first part of the story now? Okay, here the story begins. The narrator, and one more thing I wanted to mention, here A.J.Cronin, he is the one who is narrating the story. He is the author as well as the narrator. So the narrator A.J.Cronin and his companion, okay, narrator and his companion. Here companion is nothing but driver. Okay, driver. What is the name of him in the sense? Luigi. Narrator and his companion, they had been driving through the foothills of the Alps towards Verona city. Foothills of the Alps. Alps is nothing but a highest mountain range, and it stretches over 8 countries including Germany and Italy. Okay, this Verona is a city which is located in the central part of Italy. Okay, now they are being there in the outskirts of Verona. Outskirts is nothing but outer part of the city. They didn't reach the city. They were being there in the outer part of the city. Okay, and that particular time they had been driving through and they didn't reach Verona city. They happened to meet 2 little boys and they were selling wild strawberries, and they stopped their car. And then see, immediately the driver, he was noticing the 2 little boys. They were not at all good. Their appearance was really shabby appearance they had, and they were looking very normal. They were selling wild strawberries. But the narrator, he was very much keen on the 2 little boys. He has got attracted by the 2 little boys, and later on the driver who was being there in the car, he was very cautious and he identified the 2 boys were brothers. Let me introduce the boys now. See, I have already introduced the 2 characters. See, one is narrator A.J.Cronin, and then see, coming to his qualities, when we say in the sense, he is observing the 2 little boys. He is a good observer, and then all the remaining qualities will come to know one by one. Okay, well, in the end of the story, you will get the clear-cut idea about the narrator. See, the remaining qualities you will come to know. Then 2 brothers. See, Nicola. Nicola is the elder one. He was 13 years old, and see, one more person, Jack. See, you should not say as Jacopo, it's Jacopo. Okay, in Italy they'll pronounce in such a way. Though the spelling is given as Jacopo, you should always pronounce the name as Jacopo. Okay, so here he is 12 years old. He is the younger one. They both were brothers. And then coming to the 2 boys, I wanted to give a clarity over. See, this first one, Nicola, he was looking very mature and serious. And this second one, the younger one, he was somehow very lethargic. But they were both looking very innocent, and he was somehow active than Nicola. Understood? And then in the beginning, the driver actually, he shrugged the shoulder of the narrator, stating that he is showing a kind of disapproval that, see, don't get fruits from the 2 little boys because their appearance was not at all good, up to the level. So he is not ready to get the fruits from them. He shrugged the shoulder of the narrator and said that, sir, don't want to get fruits from them. When we go to the city, we'll get better fruits. Understood? And then here, what is that? The narrator. He don't want to see all those things. He has got attracted and he has bought a basket full of strawberries from the 2 little boys. And they started their journey towards Verona city. That day has got over. The next day, the author, which means A.J.Cronin, and his companion, the driver, they were coming out of the hotel room, and they happened to see the 2 little boys again in the center of the city in the public square. They were doing busy business. Okay, brisk business they were doing of. What business? In the sense, they were shining the shoes. It is nothing but they were polishing their shoes. Shoes of the people who are coming and going off that side. And then when the business was coming down, reduced, the narrator, he was approached the 2 little boys and he was asked them, he raised a question. See, yesterday I have seen you people in the outskirts of Verona. You people were selling fruits. I thought that was your only living. But again, you people are doing another business here in the center of the city, and you people are polishing the shoes. Then Nicola, I told earlier, he is very mature. He replied that, no sir, we have many business to do. we are doing all kind of works. Then he listed out all sort of works they were involving in. See, they'll sell the fruits, they'll hawk newspapers. Newspapers is nothing but they'll sell the newspaper in a louder way. They'll go near to the person and they'll sell it off. It is not sitting in one place and doing that work. So they'll hawk newspapers, sell the fruits. Sometimes they act as a guide to the tourists, people who are coming there in order to see the places. They'll guide them. Then we'll do small works also, menial works also they will do. Then this is what they were running of their life. So immediately the narrator, he has got astonished by the way he was replying off. Then in the following week, so many days he happened to meet the same two little boys, and they were very much helpful to the author, the narrator. In what way they were helpful? In the sense, see, if he wanted to have a very good restaurant, or if he wanted to have a good theatre, or else if he wanted to buy any cigarettes, American cigarettes, then these two boys, they were very much helpful to the author. Understood? And after that incidents and all got over. One fine day, what happened in the sense, in the night time, he could see the two little boys. They were being there in the midnight, actually it was. They were being there in the city, and then they were waiting for they were very exhausted nothing but they were looking very tired, and they were waiting for the last bus to be arrived. Okay, which means the bus from Padua. Okay, the bus to be arrived, they were waiting for. And then the author, again, he happened to meet the two boys. He was asking, okay, he started to ask the boys, actually, what you people were doing in this night time. See, when you see you people are looking very exhausted, see, why you are spending this much of time and why you are making this much of hard work? He raised the question. And Nicola, he said that, see sir, we never complained about our work. Actually, they were holding the unsold newspapers in their hand. Then again, they said that whatever answer Nicola was giving off as a reply towards a narrator, everything was positive. Okay, one thing you have to clear about it. And then, see, again he was telling, he was keep on answering, because the narrator, he had a kind of concern towards the two little boys. And then he was keep on asking, see, what you people are doing with the money? Most of the times, whenever I saw you people, you were involving yourself in all sort of works. What you people are doing with the money? Even I have noticed you people, whenever you people were taking food, you were taking only white bread and figs. See, you are not spending much money on foods as well as your clothing. Then what you people are doing with the money? He raised the question. Then again, he himself, one more question raised. Do you have any plans to go to do with? He asked. Then he said that, I thought that you people are saving money in order to migrate to USA. Then this boy, he replied that, sir, we are very much interested to move to USA, but we had other plans. But he did not want to disclose that particular plan towards a narrator. He don't want to elaborate. Just he said, we had plans, sir. Then here, see, I have started with the two little boys, where the two little boys met the narrator as well as the companion, and how he has earned the friendship. He, in the sense, the narrator earned the friendship of the two little boys. What are the works the boys were involving themselves in? And see, everything we have covered in the first part of the story. Here the first part of the story ends. Then, are you all clear with children? So, after a long explanation, I made a pause over here. Have you understood really the story? See, 4 characters we have come across so far. Narrator and his companion, which means driver, and the 2 little boys. And now, it is a time we are going to move on ourselves, the second part, later part of the lesson, or is the second part of the lesson. Here the second part of the lesson begins. One fine day, the narrator, he approached the 2 little boys and he said that, see, I'm going to move off from this town coming Monday, city, this particular coming Monday. So I want, before I leave from here, I wanted to do something for you people, he said. because they were very much helpful. So many days he spent over there in Verona, and these two boys were very much helpful towards the narrator. So he wanted to do something for the two little boys. Then when he given this kind of thing, Jacopo, the younger one, immediately he raised the requisition stating that, sir, usually each and every Sunday we'll move to this village. What is the name of the village? In the sense Padua, which was 30 kilometers away from the city. Okay, usually we'll hire bicycles in order to go from here to the village. See, if you are really willing to do anything for us, you please send your driver along with your vehicle, and we'll make use of the driver as well as vehicle, and we'll go. If your driver drop ourselves, in the sense, we'll be very comfortable with. He raised the requisition, and then the narrator, actually he recollected that this particular Sunday, the coming Sunday, already he informed the driver to take week off, since they are moving from here on Monday. So he was thinking over, and immediately he was readily agreed to drop them in the village where they demanded, actually. And then here Nicola, I said no, he was really matured. And then he was shouting, okay, literally he was shouting in front of the narrator towards Jacopo, because he thought that it was a kind of disturbance which they were making, which Jacopo was making off towards the narrator. Understood? See, here he don't want to disturb the narrator. Simply, if you want to convey in the sense, he don't want to disturb the narrator. Then after that, he convinced Nicola, stating that, see, I am very much interested to come along with you. And the next day, they started off their journey towards the village Padua, which was 30 kilometers away from Verona city. And when Arthur was driving, he just imagined the place where they are moving off, that must be a humble dwelling. Humble is nothing but very ordinary, and poor dwelling. Dwelling is nothing but living place. But the two little boys, they asked the narrator to stop in front of the red roofed villa, which was looking very luxurious, and it was very grand in manner. But when they were being outside, he thought that it was a villa, a red roofed villa, but it was actually a hospital. Understood? And then, see, without informing anything, the two little boys, they jumped off the car because they were very much interested to go into the hospital. Understood? And then they jumped off from the car, and they kindled the curiosity, actually, because he wanted to know what is going on inside the hospital. The narrator, he wanted to know, because he had already created a kind of concern towards the two little boys. And then he approached, okay, they entered inside the hospital, and he was following the boys, and he is entering, and he was welcomed over by a nurse. Okay, he was welcomed over by a nurse, and the nurse, actually, she brought the narrator towards the room. Okay, the hospital room. Already they entered into, it was a cubicle, actually, and they entered. The two little boys, they were talking to a girl, and they both had a very good conversation. And the narrator, he was standing outside, and he was looking over the conversation, but he didn't hear anything at all. But he had the curiosity, but he don't want to disturb the happy family party, so he was standing outside. That time, a nurse came over, and she said that, sir, you may even go inside, they must be very happy. But he said that, I don't want to disturb, intrude. Intrude is nothing but disturb the happy reunion. So, but I wanted to know about the two little boys and the girl who was being there in the cubicle. Okay, then, now this is the time, it is revealing the secret, and you will come to know the answer for the question so far which you people had in your mind, the secret behind their suffering, for what cause they are working this much hard, and see, they are giving their hard work, it is nothing for this particular cause. Okay, we are going to see. Then the nurse, actually, when the narrator asked, even she was very much interested to say about the two little boys. And she stated that these two boys, actually they brought this girl 12 months before, and this girl named Lucia, actually we have mentioned already in this, Lucia, 20 years old girl, and she was the sister of the two little boys. She was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. She was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. She was 20 years old girl, and she was the sister of the two little boys. And moreover, and see, she also added that the incident one by one. So in the war, actually, when the war was taking place, their father, a widower, and he was a very good singer, he has got killed in the early part of the war. And then they even the war has destroyed their home, and they lost everything. They were left to starve without anybody. They don't have anyone to take care of. And that time Germans were ruling the country, and they started to hate Germans, because since everything happened because of them, they started to hate the Germans. That time there was a movement they started against the Germans. What was the movement in the sense? Resisting movement. Okay, so in that resistance movement they joined over, and they have given their contribution in that movement. See, now after so many days, so many months after, everything came to normal, the war was got over, and they came back to their home. And in between, actually, war has destroyed their places, and they made their own house by taking off the broken bricks and all. Okay, they built off. And the sister was left over in the place. They came back to meet the sister, and they came to know that the sister was afflicted with tuberculosis of the spine. But they did not lose the hope. It was a life-threatening disease, and they did not leave the sister as such. They brought the sister in this clinic, in this hospital. Nearly 10 months she was being under the treatment, and each and every week, Sunday, they'll bring the huge sum of money, and they'll pay it off in order to take care of the medical expenses of their sister. Even one day they failed to do their work. Actually, all the expenses they were being taken care of. I don't know they were getting how they were getting the money, but whatever money they were getting off, that has been come from only from the good way they have earned off, she said. Then he also agreed. And then really the narrator, he has got attracted by the way the nurse, by the way the two little boys sacrificed their life for the welfare of their sister. And then he has got everything, all the news he has gathered off from the nurse. And then one more thing, the nurse also said that now she is recovering off. She had a very good progress in her health. All those things she has said. And then after hearing all those things, he just came out of the room, out of the hospital, and waited over for the two little boys. And soon after, the two boys also came and rejoined with the narrator, and they didn't open anything at all towards the narrator. They feel very much happy, and they entered into the car. And even this narrator also, he did not ready to reveal anything, because these two boys, they did not want to get any kind of sympathy from the narrator. At the same time, he don't want to disclose the secret, since the two boys maintain that as a secret. So he drove back the two little boys towards the city and dropped over there. Okay, but one thing he really astonished from the two little boys, and he learned a lesson that as long as people were ready to sacrifice for the welfare of others, there will be always a hope for humanity. And the message A.J.Cronin, he conveyed at the end of the lesson is actually war even had been broken their life and their entire thing, but the hope, their selfless action, it has brought a kind of new hope and a kind of positivity among the readers. Okay, see, have you all listened to the story, children, so far, whatever I have conveyed? It's such an inspirational story. I don't know how about you. I feel the same kind of experience you people also gained off. And one more thing I wanted to say, just listen the story one by one, grab the characters, and then just try to implement the characters in the way how you are taking up the story. See, right from the beginning to till end, try to create a kind of sequence and try to frame your own summary, okay, with the help of this video. And then one more thing, see, you people have heard the story. I want you people, I thought of raising some questions, self-evaluating questions, so that you people even work out with the help of this video. See, self-evaluating question, these are all, just take a note of it. Understood? See, where did the author, which means the narrator, meet the two little boys, and just describe the true appearance of the boys. Okay, first question, where did the author meet the two little boys, and just describe the appearance of the boys. And then, why the boys, what are the works undertaken by the two little boys? What are the various jobs undertaken by the two little boys? And one more question, see, the author met the boys in the night time, the midnight. What for they were waiting for? Okay, then for what purpose they were waiting for in that place in the midnight? Then the narrator mentioned that they were not spending much money on food and clothes. That's justified that particular question. Why he said so? How he has got this particular answer? How he has come to know? Okay, how he came to know these two boys, they didn't spend much money on food and clothing. And then last, what is that in the sense? You justify the title, Two Gentlemen of Verona. I hope that you people actually got clear-cut idea about the title, why he has mentioned these two little boys as two gentlemen, and it is not because of their age. Through their qualities, they had a kind of what is that, consideration towards others' feelings. They sacrificed their life, they had a devotion, they behaved in a well manner, and then they were very much polite towards the author, and they were mature in their nature. So altogether, these qualities they have inherited within them. So the author considered the two little boys as the gentlemen of Verona.